Do your presentation introductions make your audience sit up and take notice? Hi, Tom Fazzar from Wisconsin with another in my continuing series of presentation tips. In this one, I want to discuss the introduction to your presentation. Those initial statements you make, do they reach out and grab your audience or not? See, a lot of times people use the traditional approach, which is, oh, thank you, Mr. X. What a wonderful meal. It's an honor and pleasure to be here, blah, blah, blah. What I call the thank you part. No, that's okay, but just a little later. A more powerful introduction is one that reaches out and grabs your audience. There are 4 techniques you can use, or choose from, I should say. One is the question, a statement, a story or anecdote, or a quotation. Let's try a question. If you remember, I started off this video with one. Question, by its nature, causes the people to wonder, piques their interest. There are any number of possibilities. Here are 2 that I've used. How many of you enjoy public speaking and take advantage of every opportunity you can? Another one. When you hear the phrase ham radio operator, what images come to mind? So you begin to wonder. Then, as I said, you go into your thank you part. The second possibility or technique is the statement. Here you look at your material and you try to find a really powerful factoid. Use that at the beginning. Let's say you're talking about world hunger. You just finished a nourishing and fulfilling meal. You know, in 2010, approximately 925 million people around the world went hungry. Just because those faces are unseen doesn't mean they don't exist. Into the thank you part. The third technique is the anecdote or story. This one takes a little bit longer to develop, and I'll try to quickly walk you through it. But oftentimes what will happen is you'll use someone's case study of history. You'll track this person from, let's say, childhood, the broken home, rough neighborhood, rundown schools, into teenage life of crime, drugs. Obviously this child is headed toward, well, possibly prison, cemetery, or, as you tell the audience, and a life, an adulthood of productivity. What's really powerful is then when you drop the name, it's one people recognize. This can be a really strong technique, but it takes a little while to develop, and that's the challenging part with anecdotes, is you want to keep them to maybe a couple minutes or so to avoid losing your audience. But as I said, it can be a really strong technique. The fourth one is a quotation. For example, let's say again we're talking about poverty. The greatest of evils and worst of our crimes is poverty. On another topic, it is better to be approximately right than precisely wrong. Then of course go into your thank you part, but then at the beginning of the body of your introduction you'd come back and reference the person behind that quote. Something like, as George Bernard Shaw or Warren Buffett reminds us, etc. So consider and try one of these techniques the next time you have a presentation. See how much more powerful the material overall is and how much more successful your presentation becomes. This is Tom Fazzar from Wisconsin saying good luck on your next presentation.